My name is Dan McNeil, and I will be serving as our electronic facilitator this evening. On the meeting, we have Justin Femwright from the City of Elk River, Luke Wessler from MnDOT, Jennifer Wiltgen from MnDOT, Matt Pacina from SRF Consulting, as well as Molly Stewart from SRF Consulting. During today's meeting, study partners will provide an update on the Elk River Highway 10 corridor study, followed by a presentation of the alternatives that the study team has developed for the long-term vision for the corridor. Following our presentation, we will review comments received during the presentation and then open the floor to any comments or questions that you would like to share. So to begin, we'd want to just provide a brief orientation to how to participate in tonight's meeting. During the presentation, attendees will be on mute and have their camera disabled. And the chat function will also be disabled for attendees. We encourage those who are in attendance to use the Q&A box, an option at the bottom of your screen, to type any comments or questions that you would like to share with the study team. At the end of the presentation, we will review those comments and share them with everyone in attendance. I'd also like to say that thank you for joining the virtual meeting, and please bear with us if there are any technical difficulties. You can go ahead and enter any questions related to Zoom or our meeting functionalities into the Q&A box as well. As you can see here, we'll just provide a little bit more instruction for using that Q&A box, where you can select the option to type any comments or thoughts. You have the option to share or send anonymously. After we've read through the comments received during the presentation, we'll open it up for verbal comments as well. So you can raise your hand using the raise hand option or hitting *9 on your phone to indicate that you'd like to have up to 2 minutes to share any thoughts, comments to be heard and responded to by the study team. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Molly Stewart, who will be providing an update on the Elk River Highway 10 corridor study and presenting those alternatives that we look to walk through and share with you today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Hello, I'm Molly Stewart with SRF Consulting Group. As Dan noted, I will now provide an update on the Elk River Highway 10 corridor study, followed by a presentation of the alternatives that the study team has developed for the long-term vision for the corridor. And as a reminder, the goal of the Elk River Highway 10 corridor study is to develop a long-term 20+ year vision for the Highway 10 corridor, and then build consensus around this vision. The long-term vision is something that would be implemented over time as opportunities arise and funding becomes available. The study began in the summer of 2020, and we are about halfway through our schedule. We completed our first round of public engagement, which focused on existing issues and study objectives in early 2021. Currently, we are in the second round of public engagement, which focuses on alternatives. The third and final round of public engagement is planned for this fall, and will highlight the future corridor vision and implementation plan needed to achieve that vision over time as opportunities and funding are available. The Elk River Highway 10 corridor study is shown in pink. It covers the area of Highway 10 from the Highway 101-169 interchange to the Sherburne-Anoka County border near Alpine Drive. There are several other projects near the study area which are highlighted also on this map. The Highway 10 Rum River Bridge Replacement Project is shown in yellow. This is a construction project planned to begin in 2022 and includes the replacement of the Highway 10 bridge over Rum River. The US Highway 10-169 interchange project is shown in orange. This is another project planned to begin in 2022 and includes interchange construction on Highway 10 at Thurston Avenue and construction of an overpass at Fair Oak Avenue. The Highway 169 redefined project is shown in blue. This project is planned to begin in 2022 and includes construction of 4 interchanges on Highway 169 at Main Street, School Street, 193rd Avenue, and 197th Avenue. Finally, the Ramsey Gateway Highway 10 project is shown in green. This construction project is planned to begin in 2024 and includes interchanges at Ramsey Boulevard and Sunfish Lake Boulevard. As you can see, there are a lot of projects occurring within the area, and hopefully this helps clarify the specific location of the Elk River Highway 10 corridor study. As noted, we completed our first round of public engagement in early 2021. This engagement focused on existing issues and goals. The key things we learned from this engagement was congestion is a major issue along the study corridor and especially at 171st Avenue during the peak periods. Access to and from the highway is often challenging and vehicle safety is a concern. When asked about the public's long-term vision for the corridor, we learned that the public was not in favor of adding any more traffic signals along the corridor and that doing nothing is not an option. Rather, the public indicated they would like to see access changes such as innovative intersections, grade separated interchanges, and a more robust frontage road network. The public feedback that we received was confirmed by the technical analysis completed as part of the study. This analysis documented that there are existing safety issues along the corridor with a high frequency of crashes observed at key intersections along the corridor, such as 171st Avenue. The analysis also identified a high level of congestion at the intersections along the corridor. The intersection of 171st Avenue, which is the only signalized intersection in the study area, is expected to reach capacity between 2030 and 2035. The analysis also documented long delays at most unsignalized intersections due to the limited gaps in traffic on Highway 10. These limited gaps make it difficult to cross or turn on to or off of Highway 10 during peak periods throughout the day. Finally, it's important to note that the study segment will be the last segment of highway with at-grade access, as Highways 10, 101, and 169 will all be grade separated facilities in the surrounding area. As we identified the existing and future corridor issues and needs, the next step in our study process is to identify the long-term vision for the corridor. As noted earlier, our goal is to identify a unified vision for the Highway 10 corridor that can be implemented over time as opportunities arise and funding becomes available. Given the complexity and needs of the area, this vision may take 20+ years and significant fiscal investment to be realized. Therefore, this study is the first step in the process, and additional planning, environmental, design, and engagement efforts will be needed in the future. What does the long-term vision for the Highway 10 corridor study look like? To establish this, we utilized information from previous planning studies, the technical analysis completed as part of the study, and the initial public input that was received. The initial long-term alternatives that were considered include a no-build alternative, which is also known as the do-nothing option. Alternative 1, which is an at-grade signalized corridor alternative that would include the addition of new traffic signals along the corridor, coupled with access modifications and acceleration lanes. Alternative 2 represents a more innovative at-grade corridor alternative, which includes a combination of reduced conflict intersections, also known as RCIs, along with potentially more traffic signals, access modifications, and acceleration lanes. Finally, alternative 3 is a grade separated corridor alternative that provides a free flow option for Highway 10 motorists. This free flow corridor would be accomplished through a series of new interchanges, bridges, and/or on and off ramps. This alternative would also include access closures along Highway 10. We then completed a preliminary evaluation for each of the long-term alternatives. The study team utilized the results from the existing conditions analysis and input received during the first round of public engagement to develop a clear purpose and need for potential alternatives for the Highway 10 corridor. Evaluation criteria were then developed based on the preliminary purpose and need and centered around safety, mobility, and convenient access being high priorities for the corridor. Bike and pedestrian accommodations, project costs, and right-of-way impacts were also used in the evaluation process. Each alternative was evaluated based on each alternative's ability to address the evaluation criteria. A rating scale of good or meets criteria well to poor or fails to meet criteria was established. The results of the preliminary evaluation show that alternative 3, which is the grade separated corridor alternative, meets the majority of the evaluation criteria well, with the exception of cost. This alternative has the highest cost. However, it provides the best safety and mobility for all users. To help support the long-term Highway 10 vision, as well as economic development goals for the city, a robust local roadway network will be needed. The study team has been working to identify and evaluate potential local roadway network alternatives. These local roadway network alternatives would improve connectivity to existing and future land use along the corridor and provide a choice to users as opposed to having to access Highway 10. These alternatives will be incorporated into the implementation plan being developed in the next phase of the study. To better understand impacts and help establish a future vision associated with the long-term grade separated corridor vision, the study team developed several concept alternatives for the corridor. Based on the corridor context, guidance from MnDOT, and input from study partners, it was determined that 2 grade separated locations would be evaluated for the Highway 10 corridor within the study limits. Thus, the corridor study was divided into a north segment and a south segment. The north segment focuses on the area from Highway 169-101 interchange through the Twin Lakes Road area. The south segment focuses on the area from Kelly Farms Road to Alpine Drive. Previous planning efforts point to Twin Lakes Road as the best option for grade separated access in the north segment of the corridor. However, the specific location of a future grade separated access in the south segment is being further evaluated as part of the study. As noted, previous planning efforts point to Twin Lakes Road as the best option for grade separated access in the north segment of the corridor. The potential 171st Avenue location where a signal currently exists was ruled out as a long-term interchange location due to the high number of impacts anticipated because of the dense development adjacent to the intersection, as well as its proximity to the existing Highway 101-169 interchange. The 171st Avenue location would not meet MnDOT's preferred interchange spacing requirements of 1 to 2 miles. The studies team explored various types of changes at the Twin Lakes Road location, including more traditional options such as a standard diamond or folded diamond, and more innovative options such as a button hook, an overpass, and a split high T configuration. These options were developed at a conceptual level to better understand potential impacts, and no detailed design has occurred at this time. To complement the grade separated alternatives in the north segment, various local roadway network alternatives were developed that provide connectivity and mobility for both existing and future developments. These graphics highlight some of the alternatives being explored in the north segment of the corridor. It's key to note that a final recommendations for the local roadway network will help guide the city of Elk River as they develop projects in the future. In the south segment of the Highway 10 corridor, 4 locations for grade separated access were explored. These locations include the Kelly Farm Road area, Jarvis and Cleveland Street, Adams Street, and Alpine Drive. All south segment alternatives assumed an interchange at Twin Lakes Road. The study team explored various types of interchanges, mainly focusing on a standard diamond or folded diamond interchange type, to understand potential construction limits, impacts, future access, and local roadway network connectivity. The Kelly Farm Road area alternative is located approximately 1/2 miles south of the existing Kelly Farm Road access. The concepts developed for this location show minimal impacts to current building and residential properties. However, the Kelly Farm Road area was the least desirable location for grade separated access on Highway 10, as it is closer to the Twin Lakes Road location and does not align with the city's future planning vision for the area. The next location evaluated was the Jarvis Street and Cleveland Street location. Businesses located near this location include Furniture and Things and Exquisite Stone. The concepts developed for this location show more impacts to adjacent businesses and property when compared to the Kelly Farm Road area. Next is the Adams Street location. Businesses located at this axis include Riverside Farms and the Car and Credit used car dealership. This location provides more opportunity to minimize impacts to adjacent businesses and properties, so additional interchange concepts were developed. For example, the tight diamond concept alternative shown on the bottom of the slide provides the least number of impacts to adjacent properties. In addition to the reduced impact to adjacent properties, the Adams Street location also aligns the best with the city's future planning vision for the area. The final location the study team evaluated in the southern segment was Alpine Drive. This location is the furthest to the south and lies near the border of the cities of Elk River and Ramsey. Like the Jarvis Street and Cleveland Street location, the concepts developed for this location show more impacts to the adjacent businesses and properties when compared to the Kelly Farm Road area or Adams Street locations. To complement the grade separated alternatives in the south segment, various local roadway network alternatives were once again developed to provide connectivity and mobility for both existing and future development in the area and to support future access changes along Highway 10. Depending on the location of the grade separated access in this area, there could be an opportunity to realign Jarvis Street to improve connectivity to the existing local roadway network to the north. Additionally, a frontage road on both sides of Highway 10 will provide increased mobility and connectivity to adjacent businesses and properties and minimize the need to use Highway 10 for shorter trips. The exact details of the local roadway network in this area will depend on future development and discussions with property owners. Final recommendations from the study pertaining to the local roadway network will help guide the city of Elk River as they develop projects in the future. The study team completed a preliminary evaluation of the 4 access location alternatives for the south segment. Similar to the long-term vision alternative evaluation, criteria were selected based on the preliminary purpose and need and centered around safety, mobility, and convenient access being the high priorities for the corridor. Land use, bike and pedestrian accommodations, project costs, and right-of-way impacts were also used in the evaluation process. Each alternative was evaluated based on its ability to address the evaluation criteria. A similar rating scale of good or meets criteria well to poor or fails to meet criteria was established. The results of the evaluation show the Kelly Farm Road area location, which is alternative 1, meets a lot of the evaluation criteria, but does not align with the city's future planning vision for the area, and it does not support existing land uses. The alternatives developed at both Jarvis Street and Cleveland Street and at Alpine Drive have more impacts to the adjacent businesses and properties, which is not as desirable. The Alpine Drive location also does not align with the city's future planning vision for the area. This leaves the Adams Street location, which really rises above the rest as the business and property impacts are less at this location, and it better aligns with the city's future planning vision for the area. The Adams Street location is also centrally located for the existing businesses within the area. That concludes the information being presented during today's virtual open house. We'd like to invite everyone to please participate in the online survey, which is linked on this slide. The survey provides an opportunity to share your preferences for the long-term 20+ year vision for the Highway 10 corridor, rank alternatives, and share your priorities for the future of the corridor. The survey will be active through the end of June. With regards to next steps, the study team will document the feedback received during this round of public engagement, begin developing and evaluating short, mid, and long-term implementation scenarios, and refine cost estimates and develop funding strategies. There will be one final round of public engagement this fall, which will highlight the short, mid, and long-term implementation scenarios and the final study recommendations.